Are kids' menus underestimating kids? Kids can order off the regular menu. The kids' menu is for specific foods that kids generally eat, but that the restaurant would not make except that kids may want them. The restaurant does not offer their food in different sizes because the work to prepare the food is generally the same regardless of the size. So a smaller portion would not reduce the cost much. Kids' menus are often fine for adult as well in my experience. It's good to appeal to the masses. Lots of adults want there to be a safe option so their kids don't have a meltdown if it's all unfamiliar food to the kid. Also, most things on kids' menus are fast and cheap. It's why you never see little steaks on a kid's menu save maybe as some high-end places. Time invested and costs might get to the point the food is costing the restaurant money. There is no reason kids can't order off the regular menu too. Depending on the restaurant, my kid currently 9 may order something off the a la carte menu, the appetizers, the kids menu, get an extra plate and share with me and her dad, or occasionally a regular entree of her own. The kids menu is not meant to be the only thing kids can get, it's meant to be a selection of foods that most picky kids will find familiar, to make it easy on families when a kid doesn't want to try something new or different. And personally, I can't think of the last time I saw a place that actually did let kids eat free. I think a lot of places do underestimate kids. My middle child isn't really a picky eater, but when it's the same items on the kids' menu every time, it gets a bit boring. I remember having a complete meltdown one day we were out. She didn't want anything off the kids' menu. I told her she could have something from the main menu, and if she didn't eat it all we could take it home. After telling the waitress I needed 5 more minutes about 5 times, she eventually picked a main meal. The waitress could obviously see my pain and frustration. When the meal came out, I was a kid's portion and they only charged me for a kid's meal. She smiled as I mouthed thank you as I paid. I think some of the decision also comes from the fact that being out in public at a restaurant may not always be the best place to be introducing a cranky toddler to new foods. Hell, even said toddler, being an absolute delight until you sit down in the booth is also a common occurrence, and something they like and will eat without fuss is exactly what you need when they've swung moods faster than you can blink. I have never heard that the kids' food is free. Mexican restaurants do this and I appreciate it. They have enchiladas, burritos, quesadillas and a few others alongside the tenders and stuff. I prefer having my children try the food specific to the restaurant. I also have had my 2 kids split an adult entree before because it tends to be a good size for the both of them. According to a lot of actual chefs, yes. I watched Top Chef and one of their challenges was to make kids' menu items for the kids of 3 famous chefs. Kids aren't forced to eat off of the kids' menu. It's for picky kids, so they can find the top 5 most common picky kids' food easily without fussing. My kids won't eat off of the kids' menu because of this. They don't eat standard kid food and want something with a more robust flavor profile. I do wish they could add a few more items for the kids, not fried and just healthier in general. Some places do, but not many now. As to why they don't, most of the people here have already answered that part. The cost of labor is always the same thing when making items, but getting pre-made food that can be quickly cooked and costs less is a good reason to serve what they do. It just makes sense economically for them, just not necessarily great for the kids' health. Note, this is based on USA experience. I have no idea what the rest of the world does. When my kids were small, we would order a couple of appetizers for them to try as their meal to expose them to choices, and usually they got a few bits off our plates too. I have fond memories of going to our favorite place and toddler asking for the Be Water-free shrimp, and then spending the next hour slowly eating it, and thrilled. They did this every visit there for months, then discovered another flavor and went after that one for a while. Kids eat what they like, and that depends on what they are exposed to as choices, and if they are allowed to choose. We just put things in reach, and they tried everything, eventually. Shit. Kids' menu sometimes overestimate adults. It is very rare that a child comes and asking for a carbonara. They usually are asking for pizza or chicken fingers. We have a fancy kids' menu. The tenders, roasted chicken, salmon all come with potatoes and veg, but usually the kids substitute for fries, tortellini, crab bisque. But 90 of the kids order chicken fingers with French fries. Kids' menus are more, in my opinion, safe foods. Foods that they can recognize that generally will look and taste the same or very close each time it is prepared, no matter where or who is making it. Smaller portion sizes too. Kids can sometimes get full quicker, and some foods just don't warm up well no matter the method of reheating. It changes the texture too much or it could affect the taste. Also, the draw of French fries as a side. Smaller amount of drink as well. Growing up, chicken tenders and French fries was my safe meal for going out to eat, until I got the confidence in myself to try expanding. Kids eat free is more of a marketing thing to get families in. From what I've seen kids eat free is with the purchase of an adult entree or something similar, usually 1-to-1. Families will generally bring grandparents or other extended family members too. Kids eat free also gives the idea of saving money, so more money is spent on stuff that otherwise wouldn't have been ordered because of cost per item or wanting to have a lower overall cost of meal. What gets my goat is that my kids actually enjoy veggies, but you're never offered them as part of a kid's menu. Is always just beige. Restaurants often lose money on kids' menus so that the kids can eat, but they will make their money on the parents' meals instead. It's the reason why as a full-grown adult you can't walk into a sit-down restaurant and typically order a kid's meal. I've been to a few restaurants where it's the same food but smaller portions and a bit plainer. Spaghetti with meat sauce hamburger with no toppings, one-piece fish, and chips. If kids want a regular entree, then just order off the regular menu, and anything left over makes a great lunch for tomorrow. Ask for a side plate and give them some of what you are eating. If you are in the USA, restaurant portions are easily large enough to do this.